Real estate agents burning out is a real thing. I talk to a lot of agents and I see in lab coat agents, our massive online community, that a lot of people say, hey, I can't handle it anymore. How do you guys stay focused? I think I'm going to get out of the business. This is getting too hard. I'm just not feeling it anymore, right? And so we're always second guessing. We have doubts. This business isn't easy. It's on the tough side. And if you're doing things that are going to inherently burn you out, it just gets harder. And so I'm like, what is this for me? Should I continue? And I broke through that. And I want to teach you how to do that. I broke them down into 6 things. I wrote these down based on the things I'd been feeling in the past. And I thought, well, why was I feeling like I wanted to burn out? Welcome, everybody. This is Tristan. This is your daily real estate. It's a podcast and a show. If you're watching on YouTube, great. Comment below if you're loving this. Subscribe, share it. If you're listening in, please review this podcast. We're trying to grow our reviews to 100. I think we're at 40. So we've got our ways to go, even though it's got a massive amount of people listening to this. So thank you so much. Let's get right into this one. I think for me, where it starts is that feeling of burnout was coming to me strong when I was covering too much ground. Like I wanted to not only focus on expireds and farming and open houses and cold calling and building out my referral network, and it just kept going. And even when I was doing expireds, when I was starting off calling expireds, I would go to their home, and then I didn't decide to just do a small area. I decided to go everywhere. And I'm right in the middle of Los Angeles County and Ventura County, like that line right there. That was a big mistake because I had to learn it the hard way. And sometimes I would show property, and this is the hard part, right? This is also the hard part. I'd show property like 80 miles to 100 miles away. And we're talking about Los Angeles and Ventura County, which is a big suburban and big city, right? Where there's a lot of traffic and there's plenty of business locally. But, I wanted to get going as fast as possible. And I think I started doing too much of that. So realistically, I want you to start by drawing a home base map and saying, this is the area, number one, that I'm going to cover, right? Because the more niche you become, actually, the better you get. And I learned that much later. And then the home map is not only going to include a physical radius, but it's also going to include the things that you actually do for prospecting. And that's the part that we miss a lot, right? What do you actually do? Is your focus going to be on social media, on Instagram specifically? And is it going to be open houses? And what's the third pillar? And that's it. Don't do any more to start. You can start testing things out as you get better, or maybe one thing just didn't hit the right way over a period of time. But start creating this home base for yourself in that way. Number 2, signing up for every shiny tool, every lead gen, every tech, every automation tool, everything. And it hit me at the beginning because I wanted to test out everything. And thank God that when I started, there weren't a lot of tech tools for real estate agents. There wasn't a lot of software. It was pretty basic, like really basic. And what I did is I started just grabbing tech outside of real estate and getting that. What I'd recommend, because I know we want to get started fast, right? I'd recommend if you're starting off or if you're looking into something, see who else is using it that's already succeeding. But here's the main point. That's already succeeding in the things that you want to do. Remember your home base map, not the radius one, but the things that you're actually focusing on. Is that piece of tech going to help you with social media? Is that piece of tech going to help you with your referrals? Is that piece of tech going to help you with open houses? Outside of that, you probably shouldn't be looking for it yet. Keep that in a little Google Doc somewhere else, right? So I want you to start with some type of a spreadsheet and saying, okay, my home base is this, boom, boom, boom. This is the tech I have for free from my brokerage, from my MLS. And this is the tech I'm thinking about. Let's go find out how people are using this one. It takes work. That's the hard part, right? Don't just rely on what you see without actually asking questions from agents that are using it in the field you want to grow in. Number 3, trying to master every client type at once. That was me. And that was a big mistake, right? Because again, when I started off, I'm like, let's go everywhere. I'm going to be amazing. I mean, at this point, I worked with everybody, right? From online leads to past clients to Sphere to open houses to door knocking to probate to expired to for sale by owner, everything on this list. But at the beginning, I wish I would have just buckled down and stuck to one for a long period of time. I dipped my toes in too much, too fast, and too wide. The one thing I did stick to, which was great, was door knocking. I actually door knocked a lot. Thank God, because I got a lot of business from that. And so for you, like, what is that one thing that you're trying to master that you're great at already? Don't overextend yourself and be like, I want that. That's the fastest way to burn out. So master one client type at a time, maybe two, right? That's important. All right, number 4. Every time I tell you one of these, I'm like, I remember why I was burning out. I'm like, oh, that was it. Number 4, running, and this is from experience, running a 24/7 hotline. Man, every lead, every call, every text, every email, if I was on, like if I was up, I'd respond back. No problem. That works up until you start growing and getting busier. Because if you keep that type of a mindset without scaling and bringing in a team to help you with that piece or AI or something, you are going to burn out. I remember, so I was at a big event for the real estate industry. This must have been 11 years ago. It must have been 11 years ago. I'm sitting there and it's midnight, right? Because we're all going out as a group, right? And I get this email and it's from a lead source and I get it through and I'm like, oh, hold on. Boom, 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 responding back. And then the guy, this is crazy. The guy was on, he said, call me. I said, okay. Called him up. 30 minutes later, now it's like close to 1 a.m. If you don't give yourself a break at points as you're scaling, you will burn out. You can't function like that the whole time. And I made that mistake and I burned out. So I'm telling you, don't run a 24-hour, 7 days a week hotline as you grow. And this is the challenge because at the beginning you have no other option. At least I didn't, right? I was like boom, boom, boom. And it did ignite my business. Like we were talking about going from $0 to $100,000 in a year. Yes, it's amazing. But what I didn't do is I didn't adapt and scale as needed. So just keep that in mind. Number 5, soloing every task. And this means that, and you can't help this at the beginning or as you're growing, but at some point you're going to have to start leveraging, okay? You are doing the photos. You're designing the flyers. You are hand delivering paperwork. You're doing the transaction coordinating. You're doing the emails back and forth with everybody. You're also doing the prospecting. You're also the one posting up on social media. You are doing everything because this business requires a lot. I would start with leveraging out the transaction coordinating part. It took me, 4, 5, 6, I think it was 6. It took me 3 years to really quickly figure out that I sucked at paperwork and that it was slowing me down and that it was giving me a headache. I think we had 25 files open and it was just me with no assistant. I was like, this is terrible. I'm just spending my whole day doing paperwork, right? And so that's when I decided to hire a TC. And when I did, everything just started getting better and better, right? I could focus more on the things that were important. So don't solo every task. Look for the opportunity as you're growing to see, what do I need to leverage out? Which one of these pieces? Definitely pictures. You shouldn't be the one taking pictures. You just shouldn't. Right? But definitely start off with something that when you use this person or service, they are paid through the closing of the transaction. So you don't have to pay up front if you're just starting off and growing. Look, if you're already up and running and you've got money coming in, there's no reason why you shouldn't have an admin. You just have to take the time to outline what are they going to do and how do they show up and what is their main focus? What are the things that I shouldn't be doing that I can leverage them for, right? And number 6, Comparing day 10 to someone else's year 10. Man, I did this. I did this. And there's nothing wrong with being inspired by like an amazing agent or team or agents in your area or outside. Nothing wrong with that, right? But to put yourself down and push yourself to the point that you are not paying attention to your health, both mentally and physically, right? To your family, to all the other things that are important in your life, that's when it becomes a problem and it becomes unhealthy. So comparing your day 10 to someone else's year 10 is the biggest, 100% biggest mistake you're going to have. It reminds me of Carol Dweck's book, Mindset, where she says, please have a growth mindset, not a fixed mindset. Look for other people to inspire you from what they're doing and pull you up so you can go and ask questions and say, hey, how did you get there? I love what you're doing. Versus, why did they get that crap? They don't deserve that. Anyway, these are my 6 from personal experience, and I put them into a Google Doc if you need them. I had AI fix up the grammar because, look, I'm dyslexic. I misspell everything in the world. So you're going to find errors on everything. Thank goodness for ChatGPT. Anyway, if you haven't subscribed to my newsletter, please do that. It's in the YouTube description at the very top. It's called Real Estate Prospecting, and it focuses on real estate prospecting, just like my book. Have an awesome day.